The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by the 9 locally owned Vision Automotive Group dealerships from Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Hyundai, Kia, and Nissan, with locations in Webster, Henrietta, Greece, Penfield, Fairport, and Canandaigua. Online at visionauto.com. Hello everyone, thanks for joining us at the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Every week at this time we take a comprehensive look at sports in Section 5 in Monroe County. Let's begin with our honor roll of high school teams. Number 3 this week, Ganonda softball was on the list last week. It's 14-0 now. Panthers got 3 hits and a home run from Caitlin Donnelly in a victory over Sodas. And number 2, McQuaid baseball, 17-2. Knights won twice on Saturday against Buffalo area teams. And in the number 1 slot, we put the Hilton boys lacrosse team. Cadets are 9-5. Sean Kimball had 2 goals and 2 assists against Tully to become Hilton's all-time leading scorer. Which brings us to the Country Club of Rochester, where Kim Burnson has an update on golf's phenom.
Just over a year ago, Pittsford-Mendon golf coach Charlie Webster added a new face to his varsity team. Only a 7th grader at the time, Will Thompson joined his new teammates for his first season playing at the high school level. While most varsity coaches are wary to pull up a young talent, the decision to add the 2013 New York State Amateur Champion to the team was one Coach Webster didn't think twice about.
That's a little different. There's no real physical contact at all, and it's mostly skill related, and sometimes it's a mental thing where you might think they'd struggle socially or mentally with the golf, but he doesn't do any of that either, so no hesitations at all. He's really good. He's real consistent. You can always count on him. He's par or under most of the time, and that helps out a lot.
Thompson's contributions left Coach with no regrets about his new addition. Last year, Will helped Pittsford-Mendon win a division title, and on an individual level, his accomplishments include tying for 8th place at the state championships, earning him all-state honors. A resume that impressive leaves many wondering how Will has such a handle on a tough sport. Turns out, it was something he picked up at an early age.
It was my parents taking me out when I was really young, and I just had a lot of fun with it, and I just kept it simple, and I just really enjoyed it. I kind of picked it up on my own. My parents play a little bit, and my brother played JV when he was in high school, but other than that, they didn't really get too into it.
Thompson excelling on the golf course obviously caught the eye of the Pittsford-Mendon golf team. When getting the call up to varsity, Thompson's concerns weren't about playing at the higher level, but rather something else.
Maybe fitting in with the older guys, but I was already friends with a lot of the guys on the team, and they took me in really well, and I got along with them, so it was really good.
Most of the time he interacts really well, golf-related, socially. They get along really well. They have a lot of fun, and they're competitive at the same time.
What's been your most memorable moment playing golf at this level?
Up to this point, going to the USAM was unbelievable, but even like simple things like high school golf is just a lot of fun playing with all my friends, so I really enjoy it.
Thompson, now in his 2nd year with the team, is quickly climbing up in the ranks. He attributes his development to his role models, including one in particular that multiple teammates seem to share.
Kid on the team, Gunnar Doyle, is definitely a role model to me, and then Gavin Hall, who's up at Texas. He was definitely, when he was here especially, we still text a little bit. He's definitely a role model that I try to strive to be, so those 2 guys are kind of what I'm trying to be like.
Gunnar Doyle, a senior who will be attending West Point next fall, is a leader on the team and someone Will has learned from.
Well, it's an honor, I guess. It's good to have people to look up to. I know I looked up to Gavin when I was a younger kid playing on the team, and I watched him pretty vividly to see how he acted, and I tried to follow suit with my own actions.
Will has also taught him a thing or two along the way.
He's pretty humble, so that's good, especially for all that he's accomplished, which is something to learn from.
As Thompson continues to grow in his sport, he has to remind himself that keeping a balanced schedule can sometimes be just as important to his development.
I did used to play a little bit of guitar. I don't really do it as much anymore, but once in a while I do. But I definitely need to balance out golf so I don't get too overwhelmed with like other sports. So try to do a little bit of basketball and do a little bit of other stuff just to not always be focusing on golf.
But make no mistake, his career goals are always on his mind.
This summer I definitely, I just want to compete in a few HAGAs that I'm playing in. And then I'm playing in the MIC too, so I'd like to play decent at that and just have fun with every tournament that I play in is mainly the goal.
For the Vision High School Sports Beat, I'm Kim Burnson.
Kim returns with our Making the Grade segment later on, but up next, middle schoolers lead the way in Spencerport. Softball, when the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat continues. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us at the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Here now are our honor roll of high school athletes. Top three for the week just passed at number 3. Grace Messina, Pittsford Sutherland High School. Grace broke the night school record in the discus in a dual meet win over Canandaigua. Number 2, Matt Gamble wins again. But Gamble almost lost a set. HAC's Jordan Benjamin forced him to a first set tiebreaker in the Class A Section 5 final. And number 1, another familiar name, Sammy Watson of Rush Henrietta. Sammy broke 3 sectional records this week at a meet in White Plains. Just another week in the life. Which brings us to Spencerport, where sister acts hold the keys to the softball team's present and future. It's not your everyday drill, but there is plenty distinguishing about the Spencerport softball team these days. This is called Hit Barbara. Barbara's a mannequin and a souvenir from head coach Eric Binn's days as a hairdresser. These days, things are looking up for the Rangers, who just a year ago upset Fairport in the sectionals. They're not a title contender yet, but they probably will be, thanks to a couple of middle school kids.
The way you speak with them is a little bit different just because they're, the one's 12 years old and the other one's just turned 14. So you have to remember that you can't be too harsh because they may take it a little bit more seriously than, a senior where I can joke with them a little bit harder and they will just laugh at me. You say it to a 7th grader, they won't.
They are Sydney and Maddie Brongo. Sydney is the senior of the two sisters, the 8th grader.
That's cool. Honestly, when you think about it, it's like, wow, my sister's here with me. So you always have someone to back you up.
And plus, you guys are going to be able to do this for 4 years, right?
Yeah, we'll be here for a while. And her playing left field and me third, it's like a double backup. Sister and left field and thirds.
Her kid sister, Maddie, is a potential star. There are not many 7th graders out there playing varsity softball. What's this been like for you?
It's nervous. Like, you don't want to make a mistake because there's a bunch of seniors, but it's fun at the same time.
Well, you're over 10 games into the season. I mean, some of that must have worn off by now.
Yeah, it does. Well, you get the pregame jitters out, and then it just kind of rolls.
Lily Brongo serves as the bat girl. A 5th grader, she'll play with her 2 older sisters in a couple of years. For the Brongos, softball is a round-the-clock job.
You go home at night, and it's like, if you play a bad game, she's always there, and she's always like, all right, you'll get over it. There's always next game. Or playing with her, she's always like, shake it off, you'll be fine.
Is it ever too much softball, that you two are talking too much softball?
I don't think there's any too much softball. I think it's always softball.
The future is bright. The present's not too bad either, thanks to another set of sisters, sophomore pitcher Emily and shortstop Bailey Yeager, who benefit from the same dynamic.
Well, it was really nice to see my sister grow as a softball player, so I guess that's probably the best part, and we both take things from each other, and then I guess it's nice that we get to spend time on the field together, but also take that home and be able to talk about it and have that relationship on and off the field.
Sister versus sister here.
Game on!
Did they mess or something?
Coming up next, Kim with Making the Grade. Later on in our All Sports High School Game of the Week, it is the boys lacrosse Game of the Year.
Welcome back to the Vision Automotive High School Sports Beat. I'm Kim Burnson. It's time now for our Making the Grade segment, where we honor high school athletes for what they do both on and off the field. This week's honoree is National Honor student Katie Pendlebury, who attends Penfield High School, where she's a senior and scholar athlete. Katie stands out on the tennis court, where she was named captain of her team. As a multiple sport athlete, she also participates in Nordic skiing in the winter months and track and field in the spring. But it's in the classroom where Katie really shines. She defines what it means to be a well-rounded student, a member of Penfield's jazz band and her school orchestra, where she plays the drums and the cello. And somewhere in between schoolwork, sports, and music, she coaches the middle school Science Olympiad team and Rhodes Scholar events, while prepping for her own high school division. She doesn't take any breaks, spending her summer vacations coordinating events through her local church and helping others. For her dedication to her school and her community, this week Penfield's Katie Pendlebury is Making the Grade. If you have an idea for a Making the Grade segment, whether it's a team or an individual making contributions to their community, you can contact us at info@classywolf.com. I'm Kim Burnson. Now here's Bill with a look at our Section 5 calendar.
Got a lot of good stuff happening this week. Playoffs are in full gear. Boys sectional lacrosse Class A semifinals Friday, Webster Thomas at 5 and at 7 o'clock. Class B Saturday at Fairport at 11 a.m. and 1:30. On the girls' side, look for the semifinals for Class B at Eastridge, Thursday at 5 and 7. Class A, same times Friday at HFL. Track and field, a couple of big meets. The RCAC Championships for the City of Rochester are Wednesday at St. John Fisher College, great venue. And the Monroe County Track and Field Championships are at Penfield beginning at 10 a.m. Good stuff on the Section 5 calendar. Championship week is next. The best boys lacrosse teams square off in our All Sports High School Game of the Week when the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat continues. Welcome back to the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. It was a boys lacrosse game not to be missed. It was circled on the calendar. Victor, Pittsford, both undefeated, a 27-0 combined. They're in our All Sports High School Game of the Week. It was billed as the high school boys lacrosse event of the year and managed to exceed expectations. 14-0, nationally ranked Pittsford hosting 13-0 Victor. When you looked at the schedule, did you see the potential of this happening?
I knew Pittsford was going to be good, and I thought we had some talented kids come back also. And I wondered if this might happen. I wondered if the crossroads would happen with both sides being undefeated. It's a rough road to get here because we both play tough league schedules, and our non-league games out of Section 5 schedules, we try and schedule tough competition. But for both of us to be undefeated at this point, that's pretty exciting.
With the game played at such a high level, there were no secrets. There was agreement on the key to the outcome. What makes the difference here today, you think?
I think it's going to come down to just possessing the ball. Whoever gets more possessions and smart with the ball is going to probably end up winning the game.
To that end, Victor dominated with early control of the ball. Pittsford keeper Kevin McGuire made a big save on Victor's Mike DeMarco. Momentum shifted immediately with Pittsford's first possession. Working the perimeter with quick passes, Kobe Barker and Jonathan Parado found Matt Malone for the game's first goal 5.5 minutes in. Just a minute 20 later, the Panthers scored again. Owen Smith battled to get in front and made it 2-0 Pittsford. Ryan Maloney and DeMarco answered back for Victor to tie the contest. Pittsford claimed the quarter when James Felix circled in front and then scored off his own rebound. That gave the Panthers a 3-2 lead after 1 quarter of exceptional lacrosse. They kept the pressure on Victor into the second quarter. Colby Barker to Smith. Owen's second of the game made it 4-2 Pittsford. Just a minute later, Barker got one of his own, and it was 5-2. The Panthers in total command.
I thought our defense played really well. We were getting some face-offs. Our offense was moving it well. We were possessing it. We weren't trying to force anything, and we were finishing our shots.
Was there any sense of comfort at all with a 3-goal lead?
No, not really. We knew they were a good team. We knew we had to keep pushing. We couldn't let up at all.
The Panthers nearly got another. Smith, with a sliding attempt to score, was stopped by Victor goalie Chase Ireland to keep it a 3-goal game. With the Blue Devils on the ropes, the next goal was critical, and Victor got it. Ryan Maloney to Max Lambert, who scored. Maloney had 2 goals to go with 3 assists. They're ahead 2-0. I mean, and you guys really need the next goal, and you got it. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, I know we're a team that can score in spurts, so we just get the momentum back on our side. And our defense made a lot of stops, but we weren't possessing the ball. So I know if we could get one, I knew we were still right in that game. So I just felt that it was my time to take over.
It was 5-3 Pittsford at the half. Victor got the first goal of the third quarter to pull to within 1. Maloney to Jamie Tramboli. It was 5-4. Pittsford got his 2-goal lead back, though. Gaining possession on a field-length drive by John Galbraith. Ireland made the save on that play, but the Panthers still had the ball. And Brandon Barker streaked the right side and scored to give Pittsford a 6-4 lead. It was 6-5 heading into the final quarter. Victor's Trimboli got out in front, slammed on the brakes, and tied the game for the first time since the first quarter. It was 6-6. The Devils had scored 4 of the last 5 goals. Into the frantic final 5.5 minutes. DeMarco scored from the slot to give Victor an 8-7 lead. 3 goals were scored in the final minute 31. Pittsford tied the game. Colby Barker to Brandon Barker. The Ohio State-bound senior made it 8-8.
My offensive players on the field gave me a great opportunity to go put the ball in the net, and we've practiced that situation before. That was a set play that we run. We've run it a million times in practice. Coach Whipple prepared us for that, and we just executed it perfectly.
Victor ball, tie game, under a minute left. DeMarco drove in for his 3rd goal of the game. It was 9-8 Devils. That go-ahead goal at 8-7, do you think that was a game winner?
No, I know Pittsford never quits, and we're not going to quit, so I knew Pittsford would fight back, and they got the shot at the end. And
down a goal, that Pittsford shot at the end came with just 4 seconds left. Owen Smith took it.
I just kind of got the ball off of a restart, off of a back shot, and saw how much time was left, just kind of came in and split down and rolled back, beat my defenseman, and just shot it.
Okay, went in with 4 seconds left. I mean, you didn't leave yourself a lot of room for error there, did you?
No, I didn't really know how much time was left when I shot. I just kind of put it on net. I realized we had 9 seconds, so just put it on net, hope it went in.
Smith's 3rd goal of the game got it to overtime. Sudden death at 9-9. 3 minutes in, Victor in a man-up situation. Ryan Maloney and Drew Collins put it away. This was a special contest. Victor proceeds undefeated. Both teams will be top-seeded in separate classes and heavy favorites to win in sectionals this month.
Ryan was cross-side, and I was wide open on the backside crease, and he passed to me. I was low when I caught it, and I just went up and finished.
And then you know it's over.
Yeah, I knew it was over right away when I saw the ball hit the net.
Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week with the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat.